哎，你做咩啊？
唔好意思，老友，係時候行啦。
Alright, hold on a second. I gotta pause here because we ran into a massive technical issue with our sound. Some of you have probably already noticed it, and just like y'all, I cannot fucking stand the sound of it. So, we didn't realize it at the time, but it affected everything from Chapter 3 all the way through the end of Chapter 5. It's pretty much unwatchable with the original sound, and the subtitles only go so far and cause me a headache. Sorry. For the next few segments, I'm deciding to just give you an overview of what happens in chapters 3 through 5. So basically through the rest of the Jake and Sherry campaign. It's a headache, but there's some stuff in here that you definitely shouldn't skip. I also wanted to say thank you guys so much for hitting over 150 subs. It may seem like a small thing in the long run, but it means the world to me, so thank you so much for your support. Let's keep chugging to make 200 and then 300, you know? I feel like we could really do it. Again, I just want to say thanks for your support, even through all this really busted audio. Like, really busted audio. We pick up 6 months after Jake and Sherry were captured in Edonia. They've been held in a Neo-Umbrella lab in China, and the scientists have basically been using them as lab rats to perfect the C virus. Jake finally catches a break and busts out, short-circuiting his handcuffs. Jake is able to hit a power switch, ultimately freaking out the guard outside of Sherry's cell. When he goes to investigate, Sherry gives him hell, and then makes her a quick escape. This next segment is filled with puzzles, running around, and stuff that I can only describe as buddy puzzles. See, in this section, you have a code on a specific door, and the only way to get that code is through your buddy, Sherry, finding that code for you. While Sherry tries to find the code, your job is to guide her through the maze of the facility via CCTV. You also have a handy-dandy gun to keep the guards off her back while she searches. After unlocking the door, Jake crawls through a couple of vents, eventually ending up in a locker room. Since I got to the locker room faster than Aiden did, I have to wait on him. And if the audio wasn't so scuffed, you'd hear that he keeps dying over and over again, and there's nothing I can do but wait here, angstily. They meet up in the locker room, grab their gear, and realize the facility's a massive research hub for the C virus. Throughout this chapter, they fight through the lab to a control room where they find a series of recordings. And might I add, this section has the worst case of go here, do that, grab this. Actually, go back the other way, go here, grab this. Actually, no, go the third secret option, go here, grab this. Also, you can get 3 medallions to place inside of this big Buddha statue. During this, Jake has gained some new tricks because of the experiments they ran on him. So now he's got some new combat moves. Not that I'll ever see them because our internet keeps disconnecting from each other. Anyways, they eventually stumble upon a room where all information about Jake's tests are. They save it to a file and may connect with their headquarters before continuing on to make their way out of the facility. You know, just a leisurely stroll out of the facility, no problem. Wait, is that a fucking tank?
Oh my god!
You kidding me?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a tank. You have to run from a frickin' tank. And like its name implies, it's a tank. You can't kill it. It forces Jake and Sherry to run down to a watery garden in the end of the facility. Jake hits some sick moves while Sherry does, I don't know, whatever Sherry does. But eventually, you get the wackiest scene, and I know this is saying a lot because this is Resident Evil 6, the most wacky scene on a motorbike ever. How much did that bike go from? It was in a display case. This might be a quick time. And yeah, that's Chapter 3. Chapter 4 kicks off with a high-speed bike sequence. Another hilarious scene. Because bike driving, any kind of car driving in this game is just bad. Straight up bad. Jake is driving while Sherry provides cover fire as they are actively pursued by Neo Umbrella helicopters. They fly off the roof, somehow do not break either of their groins, and it's giving Leon launching off that building from Resident Evil. God, what are we on now? 9? Jesus Christ. It has been brought to my attention that there are over 30 different games, if you include all of the quote-unquote non-mainline titles. Over 15 spin-offs. What the hell?
Where are you going? What's a boat doing?
This chase ends with a massive wreck. In a stroke of good luck, they happen to crash in an area where both Chris and Piers are standing nearby. However, they quickly get surrounded by enemies, which leads to a mini-boss fight. Jake and Sherry have to defend themselves from the enemies with help of Jake and Piers, and a friendly helicopter buddy. And we all seen how helicopter buddies end. There was about 12 more helicopter crashes in that video, but you get the point. This section is one of those obnoxious ones where enemies will spawn until a certain length of time. And also, since we're in China now, these are the enemies that turn into goopy monsters that can repair themselves, which is so annoying. Turns out, helicopter buddy's not our friend, so they get to live. Jake does some hardcore parkour, and we can move on to the next section. Jake gets tired of running and wants to shoot down the helicopter, and Sherry asks, how? With what? And rightfully so, Jake responds with, I'm making it up as I go. 10 out of 10. After a section that's honestly way too long, be it the game or our incompetence, we finally get the chopper down. Chris has found ore farming from above us. And we move on, since Sherry reminds us that we're not supposed to have contact with anybody. We run around a bit, kill some guys, and move on. Listen. This video's a headache already because our sound didn't work, and if it wasn't the cherry on top, the next couple sections, all of my video for it got corrupted. So I'm gonna speedrun these next few sections. Also, thank you to Ada Supreme, Resident Evil Lore, and Hound for Hire 16-bit for the following footage. Through the next sections, we run through the streets, and Jake and Sherry get separated while Jake gets the high ground and Sherry gets the low ground. Next, we encounter a chainsaw enemy that tries to kill you. He's obnoxious. We meet up with Leon and Helena and try to kill Big Baddie over here. Get the bus, top of the tower, have Leon say a quick one-liner, and we get to the next part. Here we're on a raft while Ada shoots from above. We have to fight the chainsaw dude, I refuse to say chainsaw man, while avoiding obstacles in the water. Jake tries to slow the creature down, but Ada swoops in, scooping Sherry up, and drops her off with Jake. Then we end this chapter.
If Leon was right about Simmons, I want you to run. No matter what happens. Promise me.
Fine.
After having a heart-to-heart, Jake and Sherry walk into the cutscene we saw earlier in the first gameplay, where Simmons is having his stupid little speech and Leon and Helena are holding him up. Blah blah blah. Oh my god, the president's dead? Well, you have Leon to thank for that. Sherry hands over the data on Jake to Leon and he promises her protection. Then we dash out of there. Sherry tells Jake to run, but he's come around with hanging out with her and says no fucking way. They wake up in some facility. Sherry apologizes for following orders, and Jake reassures her that he thought she was doing the right thing, so don't sweat it. After that heart-to-heart, they get released from... their restraint suddenly. Jake busts their gear outside and lifts Sherry up so she can crawl through and get it. She gets attacked, but ultimately grabs her gun. Sherry busts the lock so Jake can get out and hands him his gun. Then Jake drops this absolutely insane one-liner.
You need to leave!
What did you mean by that? They explore the facility and try to figure out how to leave. While doing so, they find out that the facility is on low power, so all the systems are kind of bunked up. More buddy puzzles, more shooting, more parkour. Jake moves the robotic arm into place so that the platform they need to be on stays where it needs to be. The arm breaks, causing the platform to suddenly move, making both of the characters fall. From here, it's a quick time event race to the door. They end up once again meeting with Piers and Chris, who are also in the facility, for reasons we'll find out later during their campaign. Sherry asks the important question of if they freed them, nobody answers, and Chris decides to poke a sleeping bear and say that he sees Jake's father in him, knowing exactly what he's saying and why he's doing it. Chris tells Jake that he's the one who killed Wesker. Jake pulls out his gun, Piers pulls out his gun, Sherry's standing there doing whatever Sherry does. Jake gets some character growth and ends up not shooting Chris in the head. It grazes his cheek instead. He states that there are more important things than him and Chris. Suddenly, the facility shakes. They all work together to get the lift moving as the big, slimy, grubby slug guy shakes the building and attempts to kill them, dropping enemies here and there to catch you off guard. A computer suddenly lights up with the HAOS release simulation, saying that the infection is spreading. At this point, we don't really know what that means, but we will find out. the huge cocoon hatches, and this big-ass goopy guy flies out. We're all fucked. Chris tells Jake and Sherry to go. They'll finish this. Sherry's hesitant, but Jake reminds her they have their own mission to complete, so they run off. Sherry gets upset for leaving, but Jake reminds her that they're there to do a job, and so is Chris and Piers. He lets her know that he's not his father and he never wants to be like him. Jake tells Sherry they're getting out of here so she can save the world, and they move on. They look for an exit and come upon a room filled with nothing but lava and flames and OSHA's worst nightmare, honestly. They make their way through, trying to get to the exit door on the opposite side of the room, but uh-oh, Kane is back for revenge. This time he's got a ball and chain for an arm. He can swing it around, dip it in the fire, dip it in lava, you know how it goes. Jake vows to end this here and now. And so you get to the big bad ending boss fight. This fight is annoying because you have a limited area to run around. Also, Big Baddie can make holes in the ground that spout lava, so you have to watch out for those too as you're dodging. Jake somehow manages a feat of strength by ripping his arm off, and him and Sherry get tossed to separate locations. Now this is where the real whimsy comes in. I could just tell that the developers and project managers were like, guys, this'll be so cool. And I'm just gonna let this cutscene play out because there are no amount of words that could do it justice, so enjoy.
Settle this mano a mano. Is that all you got?
I'll cover you!
Thanks. Take that! You like that? Ready. Good riddance.
Jake feels proud, pushing Big Baddie into the lava. However, the commotion he's making is making shit fall from the ceiling, which may or may not be explosive. They make their way out of that room, find a platform that moves unusually fast, and race towards the exit. Sherry had to jinx them though in the other room, and well, would you look who it is? Back for more, I see. Jake releases some cargo, knocking Big Baddie over, but it's not enough to push him off of the platform. Ustanik grapples himself to the front and dislodges Jake's gun from his hand. It flies a few feet in front of him, and it's a quick time event race to get it. Regardless of who you're playing, Sherry grabs it first, but her hands are too shaky with the platform moving too fast. In a cute moment, Jake grabs her hand to steady it, and they both fire at the Big Baddie. And yes, finally, Ustanik is dead.
saved me. You know that, don't you? Thank you.
They're finally out of there, and it jumps to some time in the future. Sherry explains that after they were saved, Jake's blood was used for the development of a cure, and also that his relationship to Albert Wesker is top secret. Jake sends a text to Sherry saying, "I've lowered my price to $50. And we pan out seeing Jake staring at the plane that happens to be Sherry's. He puts on some Albert Wesker glasses and drives his hog off into the sunset. And with that, that's the end of Jake and Sherry's campaign. Hey guys, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for notifications. I also want to say thank you for bearing with me with all these issues and inconsistent uploads. The fact that y'all stick around for me means the world, you don't even know. And I promise to fix my sound and get better at making entertaining content in the future. I want to reiterate how thankful I am for hitting 150 subscribers. Again, it's small, but it really does mean the world. So thank you for that, for being here. If you like this style of video, let me know. I'm inclined to do more explanation videos as it is. These are fun to make, they're fun to edit. So if you like them, please let me know in the comments. And with that, I hope you have a good day, morning, evening, night, wherever you're at. Thanks guys. Bye.